You pick it up and place it in your purse. It feels like it's part of the downstairs hallway. Oh dear, the light bulb blew out. You hope someone will invent a reliable light bulb one of these days. Ouch! While this is an interesting The glass covering the alcove is marked with the words, "For emergency use only."
Was ist los? What do you think you're doing? There's no emergency here. Nicht gefingerpoken mit der Lantern.
You pick it up and place it in your purse. You hear muffled voices coming through the door to Yvette's office. Oh, excuse me.
Here now, be off with you then.
You don't hear anything. This door is locked. This door is locked. You touch the floor. You hear muffled voices coming through the door to Yvette's office. Carrington's desk. A desk. It's the
Oh, Dr. Smith, I appreciate your help so much.
Well, I don't particularly appreciate giving it. I have things to do, Miss Delacroix. Important things.
But surely you can spare the time to help me move my desk, no?
Oh, I suppose. Why do you want to move it anyway?
Oh, there is a terrible stain on the rug. I don't want it to show. We don't have to move the desk very far.
All right. Oh, it's heavy. Oh!
Oh, I am so sorry. Did you hurt yourself?
Yes. Oh no, I'm bleeding. You owe me one, miss.
But of course, Mr. Smith, I'll do anything you say. Anything. Didn't I let you in when you asked? Didn't I keep your secret?
Yes, I suppose you did. And I'm sorry about bleeding on your carpet. At least it'll blend in with the old stain. What is that anyway?
Oh, it is only strawberry jam.
I'm sure I don't want to know that.
Probably not, Dr. Smith. Now, let's go to your place.
looks. It's an intercom slave. Looks. One of those new portable. The skull of the long-extinct horned rhesus, known in academic circles to be the source of much controversy regarding it as evidence for the extraterrestrial origin of primate evolution. You hear nothing of interest. You hear nothing of interest. The liquid in the container feels oily. You also note that the container
Interesting. I'd never noticed that before.
You never noticed what, my love?
You have a tattoo of the Eiffel Tower on the inside of your left thigh.
Ah, you are doing this to distract me, no? But I am worried about you, my Ernie. You are so big and so strong. But this ice pick fellow, he is a dangerous one, no?
Yeah, he's dangerous. But I'll pay him his dough. Ernie Leach always pays his debts.
Maybe you can do some more fencing for this Big Al. He pays well.
Yeah, Big Al's a good customer. But there's only so much fencing I can do for one guy.
This ice pick might try to make the example of you before you can pay him off. He keeps leaving these threatening messages.
Don't worry, baby. Icepick knows he won't get his dough if he kills me. Maybe I can get into a hot poker game down at the Harlem Swinger and win enough money to pay him off.
No, no, no. The gambling is what got you into this mess, my Ernie.
Yeah, maybe you're right. But I've got bigger problems tonight. I saw something I wasn't supposed to see.
What?
You're better off if I don't tell you about it. Now, what's this on the top of your Eiffel Tower tattoo?
I think you know what it is, my Ernie. You've seen it before.
And I always enjoy seeing it again, baby.
Ah, you American men are so charming.
Oh, good evening, Miss Ball.
Hi, Dr. Miklos. I'm sorry if I startled you.
Oh, that's okay. I enjoy being startled. And please, call me Olympia.
Okay, Olympia. You enjoy being startled?
It gets the blood flowing. I love it. I was just trying to find Daisy, my ferret. She usually has the run of the museum, but it's time for me to feed her.
And you think she might be in here?
Well, she's been spending a lot of time in here lately for some reason. She probably likes the unusual smells. Who knows?
Can I help you look for her?
Thanks, but I'm sure I can find her. Would you mind leaving me for a while so she'll come out of hiding?
Certainly. Sorry to disturb you. How ironic. After untold millions of years, this pterodactyl has claimed a new victim, a male specimen of Homo sapiens, which has been pinned to the floor by the pterodactyl's monstrous beak. The corpse is wearing a black tuxedo jacket. At the moment it's a poor fit, especially around the neck. A large pool of blood has formed around the corpse. It has barely begun to congeal, indicating that the incident must have taken place within the past few minutes. Your careful observation reveals that this is a rented tuxedo bearing the marks of repeated alterations. There is a stain above one pocket. A whiff reveals the strong, fresh scent of champagne. Though it hardly seems appropriate, you marvel at the intricacy of the construction. The pterodactyl has been covered with authentic animal hide of some sort, stretched over a rigid framework. There's nothing suspicious about it, however. You search the left arm for clues, but come up empty-handed. You find a large grease stain on the right sleeve. You give it a quick whiff and identify the scent of turkey hors d'oeuvres. Close inspection reveals that these rented tuxedo pants have been altered many times. There's a small mustard stain on one leg. That's not the sort of thing you want to examine too closely. You eye this woman with a certain amount.
Pardon-moi, mademoiselle, but now is not the time nor the place. But perhaps we can play this, how do you call it, patty cakes at another time? I am hoping you like what you are seeing, Miss Beau. Bonjour, Miss Beau. How are you enjoying the museum this evening?
I find it very stimulating.
You be careful walking around in this place with the murderer loose. Stay near the Detective O'Reilly or Monsieur Heimlich.
Thanks, but I can take care of myself.
Ah, but you'll keep saying that until the murderer he kills you. Please be careful. You seem like a very nice young woman. I would hate to see the bad things happen to you.
This is one of the 3 wires that formerly suspended the pterodactyl from the ceiling, giving it the appearance of soaring high above the floor. This is one of the 3 wires. The corpse. This is one of the 3 wires that formerly. You carefully examine the dangling end of the wire. It's a clean cut, indicating that somebody deliberately sliced through the cable from the catwalks high above. The man's neck has been roughly cut. Dr. Carter's body has been indelicately crammed into the suit of armor. His filmy eyes gaze in mute shock. His head is bent at an unlikely angle, and the skin is puckered where the helmet's edges bite into the expanding flesh. Oh no! That doesn't look like a life mask. It's Ziggy's head! Oh no! Oh no! You reach out sadly towards Ziggy's severed head, then draw away. He's clearly beyond all help. It's Ziggy!
What is going on in here?
I'd say you've got some explaining to do, young lady. Why are you screaming?
I found Mr. Ziggy's head.
Very odd how you are always finding the bodies, Miss Bow. I think we should be going back to my office and interrogating you now.
Here now, Wolf. The young lady just found a man's head. Give her a moment before you get out your thumb screws then.
Thank you, Mr. O'Reilly.
Don't thank me, lass. I'm not saying you didn't kill the man. I'm just trying to restrain Mr. Heimlich's enthusiasm for his job.
But I will get results. Let me talk to her privately.
Now I realize you're just trying to help, Wolf, but I think we can learn what we need from the lass without harming her.
She could lie and you'd never know it. You Americans are too soft on your criminals.
I just walked in and found his head, that's all.
Well, Mr. Heimlich does have his point, lass. It's a wee bit curious that you keep showing up at the murder scenes before anyone else. How do you explain that, then?
Just lucky, I guess.
Well, you do seem a wee bit small to be sawing off a man's head, I'll say that much.
Thanks.
This Fräulein could have had help. Or maybe she's very clever.
Or maybe you're trying to pin the murders on her, so you can find the murderer and save your job, eh?
My job is quite secure, Herr O'Reilly.
Oh, really now? A security chief who allows burglars to steal the exhibits, then overlooks several murders happening under his nose. I'd think twice about your security methods if I was running things here.
This is hardly the place to discuss my methods, Herr O'Reilly. We have a suspect to interrogate.
Correction. We have a murder scene to investigate. We can talk to the lass later when she's had a chance to calm down.
Thank you again, sir.
You're a sturdy one, I'll say that much for you. One scream and you've got your head together again, so to speak. Just don't try to leave the museum.
I can't leave. I'm locked in.
Good. We won't have to worry about you then. All right, Wolf. We've got work to do. Let's go get the crime scene tools.
An office door. While this is an while the intercom crackles and you hear,
Wolfie, it's Olympia. If you can hear me, meet me in the armor room at 2 o'clock. You promised to show me your private scars, remember? See you there, Wolfcakes.
you pick it up and place it in your purse. It's the office of these are book a series of books on torture without leaving scars. You pick it up and the poetry book falls open to a poem, She Walks in Beauty, written by Lord Byron. The page is marked by a black garter with a note pinned to it. A lacy black garter with the name Yvette feels like. The note attached to the garter reads, "You can have the other garter and much more if you meet me at 3 a.m. in the preservation lab." The handwriting is female. A room. Don't touch. You presume the dripping blood belongs to Carrington, since the porcupine was stuffed. There's blood on the porcupine quills. From their position in his body, you infer that the blood belongs to Dr. Carrington. Carrington drooled a bit when he died, and his hair could have used a good wash to get all the grease out of it. That's not the sort. The letters C and P are carefully written in blood on the desk, as if they were put there by the dying President Carrington. The glass on the clock face appears to have been smashed during a struggle. Whether it was a struggle to wind the clock or a struggle for Carrington's life, it's hard to say for certain. The note is written in a man's Dr. Carrington's head holds no clues. Porcupine quills, which appear to have caused Dr. Carrington's demise as they passed through his body, creating multiple perforations in many of his vital organs. It's the body. Countess and Ziggy at 1 a.m. Medieval. Don't touch. Upon close inspection. The note. It's the personal diary of former museum president Sterling Waldorf Carlton. Not wanting to remove evidence from the crime scene, particularly when you must have broken some sort of law by opening the president's personal wall safe, you decide not to remove the diary. Not wanting to... Glancing through the diary and the male handwriting within, it refers to Sterling's growing fear that the Countess only married him for his money and that she could be planning to kill him. The final entry reads, Yvette fears her too. First edition. Using your remarkable powers of deduction, you conclude that this little book contains phone numbers. Judging by the handwriting, the phone numbers were written by the same person who made the note on the desk calendar. Phone numbers: T. Dargan, WP 5125, R. Williams, BL 4468, I. Did It, SH 0244, Be Safe, KL 0527, U. Hoser, LI 2077, N. Yet, KL 4004, E. Leach, BR 1833. Look! Numerous hefty tomes on the... Don't touch... That's upon... That's The red stain on the paper cutter blade could be red ink or blood. Perhaps the last person to use it had an accident? A paper cutter with a red blade. It's a diploma with Yvette Delacroix's name on it. An advanced degree in French from Ball State University to be exact. The file label reads, Don't... Looks. A large format illustrated version of Crime and Punishment by Dostoevsky. Don't touch it. Don't touch. You pick it up. By touching the pages of the open book, you feel a momentary connection with the true meaning that the author was trying to impart to you as he cast his words down the river of time to finally wash up against the shores of your eyeballs. The book is so well made, it looks like it will last. By reading a few lines from the book, you gather that the theme of this book is that man pays for his crimes against men by suffering for those crimes. It's amazing how much meaning you can get from a few well-chosen words. While this, a you admire the wood. You read a police report on the criminal career of one Watney Little, conman extraordinaire. The file contains an amazing list of offences, mostly fraud, conspiracy to commit fraud, and various degrees of larceny. Glancing at the top of the page, you noticed that the investigations were conducted by Scotland Yard. You also noticed that the last entry describes Little's recent escape from Dartmoor prison. Clipped to the outside of the folder is a small handwritten note that reads simply, "Remember our deal." Apparently this file was provided in exchange for somebody's silence or service.
Well, well. Good evening, Countess.
What are you doing here?
I just happened to be hiding behind the tapestry.
You're lying.
How could you tell?
Nobody just happens to hide behind a museum tapestry.
And nobody just walks around inside a museum late at night with paintings under their arms.
Paintings? Oh, you mean these paintings? I just found them laying around on the floor and I picked them up so no one would step on them.
I don't think so.
You don't think so? Are you accusing me of something, you silly girl?
What do you think?
I think you're a rude girl who needs to learn some manners. The nerve going around accusing people of stealing paintings.
Did I say anything about you stealing them?
Well, of course you did. Don't try to trick me, girl. I've got more tricks than you have brain cells.
One thing I have to ask myself is, why did you bring those paintings to a meeting with Dr. Carrington this time of night?
How did you know I was meeting Dr. Carrington?
I found a note beside his body.
His body? You talk about him like he was dead.
Yes, he is. Dead as a doorknob. You didn't know about it?
You're trying to trick me again. Dr. Carrington is alive and well and working in his office.
Well, you're right about him being in his office, but he's quite dead, I assure you.
Oh, my God!
And you seem to be a logical murder suspect.
Wait a second. You're not going to pin this one on me. I didn't have anything to do with it. Why would I want to kill him? We've got a perfectly good art burglary scheme going.
Art burglary?
I think I said too much.
If you're trying to convince me that you're not the murderer, you're not doing a very good job of it.
What do I care what you think anyway? You're not a cop.
But I am a reporter, and I could write about you in the newspaper. Of course, your reputation would be ruined, and the police would get very interested in you. But you're tough, so I'm sure you could handle it.
Look, it was just a little deal I worked out with Dr. Carrington. An art forger duplicates the paintings on the wall of the gallery. Then we hang them up in place of the real ones, which we sell to private collectors.
Didn't you think someone would catch on after a while?
Are you kidding? That's the beauty of the plan. When we had replaced all the paintings, we were going to slash them and make it look like someone vandalized the real paintings. No one would ever think we'd go to the trouble of forging paintings just to destroy them. And Carrington is here to see that no one gets too nosy.
You mean he was here?
I swear I didn't have anything to do with his death. He was my cash cow. I brought him over from Europe just for this reason. Now that's it. I'm not saying any more about it.
Dr. Carter's skin The intercom crackles and you hear,
Ernie, it's Olympia. The release valve in number 13 seems to be jammed. Take a look at it when you have a chance.
you pick it up and play. You This trunk is... The trunk has a name tag identifying it as part of Carrington's personal luggage. Beside it is another sticker emblazoned with the logo Andrea Doria. You pick it up and... Daisy will furiously flash across the floor on Fleet Ferry. The poster outline. It's the door. It's a sack of plaster, sometimes used for making molds. It's a cold storage. You pick it up and place it in your purse. A full bottle of Dr. Moore. You pick it up and place it in your purse. Ernie's index to the stored items in the alcohol vats. Current vat contents, Alcoholic Preservation Lab. 1. Koala bears. 2. Turtles. 3. Snakes. 4. Hippo. 5. Ground sloth. 6. Skunks. 7. Loch Ness Monster. 8. Ostrich. 9. Lemmings. 10. Unicorn. 11. Creature from the Black Lagoon. 12. Rats. 13. Warthogs. 14. King Edward of Daventry. That 5. That 10. That 14. A hanging light. That 13. Could it be? Yes. It's heavy. It's shiny. It's real gold. It's got a sharp point at one end. It's the Dagger of Amon Ra. You pick it up and place it in your purse. Boy, the alcohol fumes sure are strong in here.
Fräulein Bo, this laboratory is dangerous and verboten to the public. You will leave now.
Good evening, Mr. Hamlick.
Good evening, Fräulein Bo. When are you leaving?
I expect to be staying a while, actually.
Do not linger in the halls. And do not touch the exhibits. If I find you touching anything, I will pop your heart out through your throat. I will not warn you again, Fräulein. Leave this laboratory immediately.
A pair of the wire cut. You pick it up and The oil The oil One of the The oil The oil The oil Inspect While this a magnet Inspecting the painting carefully. Inspect with careful use